Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to do a side-by-side direct comparison of the John Deere S180 compared to the Craftsman T3200. Both of these mowers are great and they have a lot of similarities, but there are some key differences you should be aware of. So let's start with this John Deere S180. It's got a Briggs & Stratton 24 horsepower engine underneath the hood, as well as the batteries underneath the hood. And this also has the easy change oil filter that I don't like. I've made a video where you can convert it to the conventional oil filter for less than what you can change that one filter for, which is $50, which is ridiculous. I would like it if it would only cost $20. Plastic hood on the John Deere S180. That's one thing I don't like. If those things crack, they're very expensive to replace. I do like the side-by-side foot pedals on the John Deere, and this one does have a little bumper on the front, smaller compared to the Craftsman, as you'll see. These both have 54-inch decks that are 11 gauge, and they both have an electric PTO, blade engagement. So the belt is going to be tight, and this one has a 13 positions on the left side there, throttle and choke all in one lever on that for that Briggs & Stratton. Both of them have a digital hour meter, digital display, and both of these mowers are rated up to 3 acres. They both use the Tough Torque K46 transmission, which is great. It's definitely an upgrade from the TL200. I do like the seat. The gas tank is located underneath the body, which I don't like that, in case you ever need to clean out the gas tank. Here's another look at the deck on this side. You do have plastic covers, and you have a slot there where you do have grease fittings on those spindles. They both come with 22 by 9.5 rear tires, and the front tires are also the same on both of the units. One advantage the John Deere does have that I like is those side-by-side foot pedals. It's more comfortable going from forward to reverse, and both of these units have a forward speed of 5.5 and a reverse of 3.2. But the John Deere's coming in at $300 more, so let's take a look at this Craftsman T3200 and see if it's actually a better buy. First, you got on here, you can see a side fill. The front fill gas is on the underneath the hood. So in case you ever need to clean out that tank, it's a lot easier to clean out. But better front bumper. Also has a metal hood versus a plastic hood. Plastic right there on that those louvers there, but it's metal shell. It has a 24 horsepower Kohler engine instead of a Briggs & Stratton. And here are your common parts labeled there for you to easily find. Conventional oil filter and easy drain plug there. I like that. One thing I like about how the steering gears are above versus the John Deere are below, where they're more prone to getting debris and sand. On the Craftsman, you also have plastic covers on this 11 gauge stamped deck, electric PTO engaged blades. I do like these big handles on the rear that you don't see on the John Deere. The seat seems a little lower. I can't find the measurements. I do like the seat of the John Deere a little better. And I don't like how they put these little small batteries, 230 cold cranking amp batteries on these Craftsman. But I do love those wide tires. Same width as the John Deere, but I do like those grips there. The deck lift lever is located on the left of the John Deere and on the right side of the Craftsman, which I like that better since you're right-handed, most of us. Separate cable for the choke, I like that, instead of having it integrated into the same lever like on the Briggs & Stratton. Again, electric PTO engaged blades. There's that 11 gauge stamped deck, plastic covers. One thing I do like about the John Deere, I like it's easier to remove the deck on the John Deere. Just, they're easier to remove the linkages. Again, same size rear tire, 22 by 9.5 12s. And the Craftsman has a turning radius of 5 inches. That's incredible compared to an 18-inch turning radius on most other mowers, including the John Deere S180. I believe Craftsman is one of the only ones that have that tight turning radius. And yes, these are MTD built mowers, and ever since Stanley Black & Decker bought MTD, the quality has drastically gone up on all the MTD built mowers. So now that we've put eyes on both of these mowers, let's look at the stats. So again, they're both 3 acre rated, and the price difference is $300. The Craftsman comes with a 24 horsepower Kohler. Now, I do like the Briggs & Stratton. It's just I don't like that plastic intake. I wish they'd make a metal intake for it. They both have a 54-inch 11-gauge deck, electric PTO for blade engagement. They both got the awesome K46 transmission. Here's where we start to see some issues. We got a 3-gallon tank versus a 2.4-gallon tank. And I like how the tank is under the hood on the Craftsman instead of under the body, just in case you have to clean it out. But then you get a smaller battery on the Craftsman versus the John Deere. The seat, I couldn't find the measurements for the Craftsman. I could, it was 15 inches for the back on the John Deere. But I do like the high back seat on that, what they say is on the Craftsman. It doesn't seem to be as long or tall as that 15-inch John Deere. I actually like that John Deere seat better. But the turning radius on the Craftsman is only 5 inches versus 18 inches. Travel speed's the same, rear tire's the same. They both have a digital hour meter. Another big difference, 3-year limited warranty versus a 2-year 120-hour warranty. Many of you may know already, but if you don't, I was a John Deere mechanic for a while at a dealership, and I did a lot of warranty work. And most of the time, these mowers would come in, and warranty's only for stuff that's a manufacturer defect. Most of the times, all the time, there's always physical evidence showing what actually happened, whether the customer hit something with the blades or ran out of oil. And most of the time it was a customer's issue. But anytime it was a manufacturer defect from John Deere, they didn't buck or give me any problems with doing the right thing and handling it properly and quickly. And one other thing I want you guys to know, if you buy a mower from Lowe's or Home Depot, Lowe's and Home Depot aren't working on these mowers. What they do, if you have a problem with it and you take it back to the Lowe's or the Home Depot, they're going to take that, whether it be a John Deere, let's say, they're going to take it to a John Deere dealership. They're not working on it. They don't have mechanics. They don't have techs doing anything to service these mowers. They'll take it and then they call the John Deere dealership or the Cub Cadet dealership. If you're buying a Cub Cadet from Home Depot or whatever, the dealers are doing the warranty work, not the stores. But here's the thing, if you buy it at Lowe's, you don't have to take it back to Lowe's. You can take it straight to the John Deere dealership. Make sure if you do buy it from Lowe's that you register for your warranty, which they should help you out to do that, but sometimes they may not. But make sure if you register for your warranty, and then you just take it right back, take it to any John Deere dealership, and they'll do the warranty work or service work on it. No problem. You might be asking yourself, well, why don't I just go ahead and buy the John Deere from the John Deere dealership? No problem with that. But sometimes at Lowe's, you can get the 10% military discount. And actually tonight I had a viewer say on that other video, the last one I just posted, the comparison, the buyer's guide video, he was saying how he was able to get a D130 from Lowe's at half price because it was a returned unit and it had a dead battery and there was like 0.2 hours on the meter, no gas in the tank. They had returned the unit and had a dead battery, and he was able to get it for half price, the D130 for half price. Dealership's not going to let that happen. They're going to replace that battery. And that's just more evidence. The Lowe's, they don't have mechanics, working on the mowers there. They don't work on the mowers there. Okay. So with this Craftsman, I've written down on here on my dry erase board things that I like and dislike, and we're going to go over that in just a second. But if you buy a Craftsman, I think it's like Sears Home Service Center is the one that actually does it. It's not Lowe's that's working on it. You'll take it back to the Lowe's, and then you'll have that issue taken care of from there. And I will say it does take a little bit longer because you've got a little extra step there. So if you got I don't know of any Craftsman dealerships working on Craftsman where you can take your Craftsman mower in there and get them to work right on it. You'd have to go to a Sears Home Service Center. Now, how many are they located? Where are they located? Now, with the John Deere, there's one thing I want you to consider, because when you look at those stats, it makes it real easy. It looks like the Craftsman's definitely the winner. But I want some other things I want you to consider is parts availability. And, you can get parts for the John Deere at Lowe's, Home Depot, John Deere dealerships. So that's one thing I want you to consider. And then also, these are both 54-inch deck mowers. Don't go out and just buy because you think you want a 54-inch deck. I mean, sometimes a smaller deck is easier to use. The only time that deck, that big wide deck, is handy is when you're just cutting a big swath of grass. Every time else, that big deck, wide deck, is going to cause you problems of storage, getting in between places. So just be aware of that. You may not want a 54-inch deck, but if you do, both of these are great mowers. So let's go over everything on the back here. So with that John Deere, things I like about it, the S180, you're getting the 300 cold cranking amp battery, and then you're getting the side-by-side foot pedals. And also, techs from a dealership are doing the PDIs. They actually go out to the Lowe's, the Home Depots, the box stores, take them out of a metal crate, and they test the unit. They crank it up and everything else, and we have little special gas cans because Lowe's don't want, these stores and stuff don't want gas to be in the tanks. So we would take a special gas can and we would unhook from the fuel, before the fuel pump on the side of the engine, put that hose down, attach it to our little gas tanks. That way we didn't have to put any gasoline in the gas tank of the unit, of the mower, but we could run it, test the blades, do all that. We level the deck, check the air pressure. If there's tires leaking or whatever, it's solved then. If there's an issue with the belt or the deck, it's taken care of then. And then the John Deere dealership is responsible. That's why you will see stickers on like a John Deere mower in like a Lowe's or Home Depot. You'll see the local sticker from that local dealership. It's not that I had one commenter say, "Oh, I went in there and they had the sticker from the John Deere dealership," not knowing they know perfectly well. Lowe's is still selling that mower, Home Depot is still selling that mower, and everything else. Now, there's another rumor, and it's kind of true, and it really depends on the dealership. If you go to take your mower that you've bought from a Lowe's or Home Depot, dealers, there's a rumor that dealers don't want to work on them. They do want to work on them. It's money. They don't care. Now, will the salespeople be a little butthurt that they didn't get the commission? Yes. The dealers still want to work on your unit. They still want to take your money, whether it be service or whatever. Even if it's warranty work, they want it because, like when we did warranty work, we did not like to do warranty work. I loved doing warranty work as a tech. I didn't have to get approvals and everything else, and then John Deere pays the dealer. So it's like the dealership wants to work on it, whether it's warranty, not warranty, you bought it there or not. They would prefer if you bought it from them, obviously, because then they'd get the sales commission. But, availability of parts and access, the John Deere, you can get them everywhere. Whereas the Craftsman, the stats, it's a no-brainer. It's the stats. Let's take a look. The price, you're getting the Kohler engine. You're getting the 3-gallon tank that's underneath the hood instead of underneath the body. The side rails on the rear, 3-year warranty, 5-inch turning radius, all on that T3200. The only drawback I don't like is the little the little 230 amp battery, but it looks like you could probably go in there and put a bigger battery in it next time you have to replace it. The S180, you already get the 300 cold cranking amp battery. You got the side-by-side foot pedals. Techs do the PDIs and parts availability. Lowe's, Home Depot, John Deere dealerships. That easy change oil filter, I don't like that. For several reasons, I don't like that easy change oil filter on the John Deeres. I've actually made a video. I'll put a link in the description where you can convert it to a conventional oil filter for less cost of buying one of those filters the first time. So when people would come in there to the dealership, and I would tell them that the reason I don't like it is because it's $50, okay, for that one. And it only changes out like I don't know what the exact amount of oil it changes out. I want to say it's like, I don't even know if it's half of the oil. But if it was only $20, I wouldn't mind it because I would just do maybe more often oil changes to get that oil out. But you can convert it. They're $50. It's like all of a sudden you're changing your cost of changing the oil on this thing is ridiculous versus like $20. And I made a video, like I said, convert it, parts and everything to where you can convert it for less than what it cost you to buy that first oil filter. So I wish John Deere would get rid of that. I don't really like it. It's just a gimmick. But for me, if I had to choose one or the other right now, I would definitely go with that Craftsman T3200. But I wouldn't lose any sleep going with the John Deere with the benefits of being able to get parts and, everything else just so easily available everywhere. So let me know what you guys think. Which one would you get? What's more important to you when you go to look at a mower? I do a lot of these comparison videos. Check out I just did the one where it was the $2,000 to $3,000 price range for the riding lawn tractor style mowers. And that's why I didn't include these. These were right above that price range, but I'm going to do more videos. Let me know. I want you guys to engage in the comments. Let me know what mower you're using, how you like it, things you do like about it, don't like about it. What are you looking for to replace it with? Are you looking to replace it? Just give me some feedback, guys, and that helps me give a better informative videos for you guys. And also do me a favor, because these do take a lot of time for me to make and study and do all this stuff, even though I am a mechanic and work on a lot of these things. These two I barely ever work on. I know they're great units, though. I've got a lot of viewers that have talked great about that 3200 and the Craftsman 2400. So do me a favor, guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit up my Lowe storefront. Do me a favor, if you're going to buy either one of these, just look at the viewed products, and then the stores give me a finder's fee commission, and that helps me justify making these videos. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.